What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex here, and you're watching the DC edition of the Ragin Nation Show. This is just a web series we're talking about all things matter me in the DC Cinematic Universe. This is episode number 26, and in this episode, we're going to start off by talking about Green Lantern. Green Lantern is a film that doesn't come out for a very long time. As a matter of fact, it comes out in 2020. 5 whole years from now. That's a very long time. But why are we talking about it? Well, we're talking about it because casting is going on. Casting for a Green Lantern film seems pretty early, but actually it's the right time because the very first appearance for Green Lantern in the DC Cinematic Universe is actually in 2 years from now. Justice League Part 1 actually comes out in November 17th of 2017. It is 2015 now. That's 2 years away. Actually, around 2.5 years away. And 2 to 2.5 years is about the right time for a big major studio event film to come out. I mean, you know, look at big films like Star Wars and Transformers and Avengers. They take around 2 years to produce. So now would be the right time to start casting and pre-production. Alright, so that's what's going on right now, and there's a lot of rumors going on right now about who's going to be playing Green Lantern. And, you know, all kinds of names have been thrown around, and, well, you guys can not worry. You guys don't have to worry because Ryan Reynolds is not going to be reprising his role as Green Lantern. He was Green Lantern before. That movie stunk. He's going to be playing Deadpool. And it's going to be a hell of a lot better. So who's going to be playing Green Lantern, and which version of Green Lantern are we getting? I mean, there was the possibility that we're going to be getting a little bit of diversity with the Jon Stewart version of Green Lantern, possibly played by Tyrese Gibson, and also there was the possibility of Idris Elba wanting to play Green Lantern. But actually, there's a possibility that we might see both Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Okay? What the studios, or rather what Warner Brothers is going for, is diversity in the sense that they want to see more Green Lanterns. Multiple Green Lanterns. In the Green Lantern comics, there wasn't just one Green Lantern. The Green Lantern Corps actually consisted of a lot of Green Lanterns. Okay, as they are soldiers, they're peacekeepers who work with the Green Lantern Corps, and one of them is of course Hal Jordan, and then there's Jon Stewart, and then there's Guy Gardner. There was several of them, and it's possible that we might be seeing all three of them in the same film. All right. And that's just a rumor from Latino Review. Latino Review is a very trusted source when it comes to entertainment news. So if that's what they're going for, it doesn't sound too far-fetched. Now, once again, I ask, who is going to be playing Hal Jordan? Okay, let's first get Hal Jordan out of the way before we even talk about Guy Gardner or Jon Stewart. Okay, well, you know that there was some rumors going around talking about that Chris Pine is actually going to be cast as Steve Trevor, okay? And if you don't already know, Steve Trevor is a character who plays the love interest for Wonder Woman in the comics. Well, it turns out that the probability of him playing Steve Trevor in a Wonder Woman film is actually quite low. It's almost inaccurate. The possibility of him playing another DC character, most likely Hal Jordan, is actually higher. Okay, I'm gonna read you what it says in this quote here with regards to the Hal Jordan rumor about Chris Pine possibly being Hal Jordan. Okay, check this out. Pine was rumored to be a candidate for Hal Jordan way back when we realized Ryan Reynolds would never float in a green suit again. And the rumors of Pine circling Wonder Woman were actually Pine closing in on the role of Hal Jordan. Okay? So, it looks like we might be seeing Chris Pine as Hal Jordan instead of him playing Steve Trevor. Alright? You know what? Whether he plays Steve Trevor or Hal Jordan, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to see Chris Pine play a comic book character. I'm actually excited to see him as part of the DC Cinematic Universe. And actually, I think that it will be very interesting to see Chris Pine as Hal Jordan. That is something that could be quite entertaining. I like Chris Pine, and to see him take on that role, that's going to be interesting. And possibly working together with, I don't know, Idris Elba and or Tyrese Gibson and another actor who's going to play Guy Gardner. Who knows, man? Anyways, whoever it might be, all I know is that if Chris Pine is Hal Jordan, I'm excited. All right? So there you have it. Once again, this is just a rumor, but it was a rumor from a reliable source in the entertainment news. That's Latino Review. Also from Latino Review is another little bit of information. Now, this is some pretty juicy information. And that is, there's a writer, Chris Terrio, who is actually the writer for Batman vs. Superman. He's also the writer for the Justice League films. And he is also the writer for The Batman. Okay? Now, that's not the rumor portion of this report. The rumor portion of this report is that it is possible that Ben Affleck, not Affleck, Ben Affleck will be directing The Batman. And that's not all. He will be directing The Batman for a 2018 release. By the way, that's what they're calling it. They're calling it the Batman. That's what the title of the film is going to be called. The Batman solo film will be titled The Batman. Okay? Now, the rumor is, once again, Ben Affleck directing himself in the Batman solo film for 2018. Once again, from Latino Review, a very reliable source in entertainment news. Could this really be happening? It doesn't sound too far-fetched. Okay? Ben Affleck is a very solid director, and he's directed himself a number of times in Argo, okay? The Town. He also directed his brother in Gone Baby Gone. All three of which are great films, fantastic films, films that I really, really enjoyed. And not only did I enjoy them, they were all great films. Okay, they have some very high reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think a lot of people also believe that they are very good films. All right, so I think he has a very, very solid vision when it comes to being behind a director's chair, and if he's going to be directing himself, I think he's going to put on a very, very good performance. After all, he will have a lot of responsibility for this film. All right, now, whether or not it's going to be better than Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, that has yet to be seen. Most likely not, but still, I think we are guaranteed a pretty solid Batman film if Ben Affleck is behind the vision. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, with regards to the 2018 release, once again, a rumor, okay? But that doesn't sound too far-fetched as well, because one of the things about the DC Cinematic Universe, or rather Warner Brothers, is that they're in huge competition with Marvel. And not just Marvel, but also 20th Century Fox with their X-Men films and their X-Men spin-off films, as well as not so much Sony anymore, but other big tentpole films, but mostly their direct competition is Marvel Studios, okay? Now, Marvel Studios, and Kevin Feige, they have already taken over the next couple of years. There's a huge emphasis on Marvel Phase 3 for the next couple of years, and Warner Brothers is kind of left behind, but they're going to make their huge impact next year with Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. But they need to keep that momentum going. So what's very important for them is that they bring out their major studio films, their major comic book character films, into the mix and not let them be forgotten. Okay? And the one way they do that is by pumping out a major DC Cinematic Universe film every year. Okay? And I'm not talking about characters like the Flash and the Green Lantern. I'm talking about the major characters, like, for example, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, the Trinity. You know what I'm saying? Those three characters are the ones that the fans recognize the most, okay? While Green Lantern and the Flash, you know what? I'm not going to discount them. They do have a lot of fans and a huge following. A lot of people are waiting for them to appear on the big screen in their own solo films. But make no mistake about it, Batman is probably the most popular of them all in terms of him appearing on the big screen again. Okay, so what they're doing right now is we're going to see Dawn of Justice in 2016. Okay, so that's the first major film, and then in 2017 we're getting Justice League Part 1. Okay, and then after that, and not just that, we're also getting Wonder Woman in June 23rd of 2017, and then in 2018, okay, we are getting an untitled Warner Brothers event film on November 16th. I'm thinking that's going to be The Batman. That's the Ben Affleck directed Batman. Now, Warner Brothers secured this slot in the 2018 timeline, okay? They also secured March 23rd for The Flash, okay? But The Flash, even though I understand he's very, very popular among comic book fans, but Batman is, of course, the more popular one, okay? He's got to make his appearance because there is this gap between Justice League Part 1 and Justice League Part 2. That's a 2-year gap, and the fans need to see that connection. And I think bringing in the Batman in 2018, I think that's a very important and smart move, considering that the DC Cinematic Universe and Warner Brothers, they're left a bit behind. They have some catching up to do. And then when it comes to 2019, that's when they bring in Justice League Part 2. And then following in 2020, then they bring in Green Lantern, okay? So right now, that untitled Warner Brothers event film could possibly be The Batman. Now, we're just waiting for that big announcement. Now, it makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, Chris Terrio is writing all 4 films, all right? Dawn of Justice, Batman, or rather The Batman, Justice League Part 1 and 2. So to have the same writer, to have that consistent storytelling throughout all 4 films makes a whole lot of sense. So I think that, it could really happen. What do you guys think about Ben Affleck directing The Batman? He's directing himself in this solo Batman film. And do you think it's too soon to get a Batman film? We're getting a Batman film in 2018. That's 6 years after the previous one, The Dark Knight Rises, which came out in 2012. You think it's too soon for that Batman reboot, or do you think that's just about the right time? I think that, you know what? It is the right time, because we got to see the story unfold. All right? And we don't want to see, these beloved characters get lost in the storytelling. All right? So there you have it. And then further on in probably 2020, or I don't know, sometime around that time, we're gonna get Man of Steel 2. Okay, so there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. This is a pretty huge rumor, but in my opinion, I'm excited about it, and hopefully it's true, because I'm looking forward to it, alright? So there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also you can follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Awesome. Alright? Now, obviously, they can't cast Chloe Grace Moretz as Hit Girl in a Hit Girl prequel. They obviously have to cast someone younger. So